Hi Virgo, this is Luciani. I'm here to give you your weekly spiritual advice for the week of December 24th to December 30th. Thank you so much for coming to this channel. Please, if you feel me, like, subscribe, do the whole nine. But let's get right into your messages. This is definitely for healing. This is a healing channel. So spirit advice, spirit guides, please give me Virgo messages for the week of December 24th to December 30th. What messages do you have for me? All right. How big this? All right. Virgo, the cool part about your reading is that you definitely have the wisdom. You're very majestic right now. I mean, I really truly see you as this beautiful, airy type of entity with poetry all through your veins. I'm also seeing very great poets and strategists and musicians out there. Just very, very wise. Also a dreamer, someone who's inspiring, an artist, a teacher. Also someone who has strong convictions, who's tender and faithful. I would definitely say that there is something here that I can say that's really stagnating you. The Six of Water in your present sector, which would be Six of Cups in traditional tarot, is suggesting that there's some kind of living in the past or some kind of clinginess. And the cool part about you is that you're very spiritual right now, or you might need to go into the spirit realm just because of something that's just you're clinging to, or some hope, or it possibly could be somebody from your past, or just particularly just living in the past that can be hindering this spiritual growth here that's waiting for you, that makes wise decisions, that is a great teacher. Yet again, if that was something, going to that higher mind, Virgo, additionally, being inspiring or being inspired, being a poet, having strong convictions, more tenderness, it brings out this beautiful, beautiful energy of balance in your future sector. This is the couple in traditional tarot. This would be known as the Lover's card. And essentially what that means is some kind of harmony that can be harnessed if we basically become enlightened. Enlightened to the mind, or enlightened to things that I would say are charitable. Someone who's a humanitarian, who has this spirit of service, also a strong imagination and just very organizing mind. I would definitely say that this also could mean some sort of recovery or improvement from a state. So I'm basically seeing this. I'm seeing that there's something that you're clinging to that's holding on to your past, and now it's time to get back into this inspirational, strong convictions about. yourself, because Virgo, I believe that you know that that's you. And now it's time to step yet again into the spiritual realm. Something that you have to kind of come out of and improve, because it can make your love life very, very, very prosperous. This can also, this is a general reading. This also can go the other way where um someone is requiring this from you, um and it's like they're waiting for Virgo to go into that higher mind, that higher sense of self, in order for a relationship to be, back and running, back to its beautiful, original, balanced state where you both love and care for each other. There's balance. There's, there's, you know, there's balance for the most part. But what accomplishes stagnation, some kind of inertia that occurs. Now, from that inertia, I'm going to clarify these cards, but from inertia, that simply means that there's some kind of blockage that's going on. This also can mean there's like it's like a sudden stop to something, a sudden stop to maybe some sort of balance or in love, that is really kind of like taking you back into the past and kind of looking at what was the things that once was. Also, a lover's card can also indicate like a choice between two different people. There's also, there could be a struggle between sacred love and like just a physical love. There's two completely different things here, and there's a sudden stop. And now you're at the 8 of Water here, where it's just like way too much is going on. Your spirit advice is kind of throwing the red flag here, because it's some sort of rejection that your spirit advice happens to say, or abandoning the present situation and leaving something for something higher. Your spirit advice is saying you must abandon some sort of past, maybe living in the past or clinging to something. You might have to abandon that and go to something higher, which is complete harmony, finding balance, choosing maybe sacred love over the physical love, or making a choice. And your energy is signifying that you have the inspiration to do it. But your feelings are just, wow, devastating. It's kind of like you're in a state of, you're feeling just everything is just ruined, and you have so much that you have to work on and come out of, and you don't even think for sure it might even can be fixed. There's so many destructions and losses and lack of communications and self-punishment and guilt complex, and just the list goes on of how you're feeling. And then what you're reflecting upon is something that you really, really felt close to. You might be reflecting on something that's no longer here. Also, just regret, some sort of regret, or because of a loss. And now it's kind of leaving you in this like state where you start out being so inspired, but then throughout the course of the reading, it's kind of like something came to a sudden stop, that you just feel super rejected, and you might have to leave for something that's higher, and it's just leaving you at this like loss and regret of so many things. And now it's kind of like what changes, pretty much what changes into something. It's like all of these illusions. All of these illusions are now placed upon yourself, where others are placing illusions against you because of the fact that you're not inspiring enough, I'm assuming, or something where you have to basically stick to something that you agree to and don't let yourself down. You have the inspiration and protection necessary to finish your work creation or project. Um, it's kind of like saying tune up your senses because there's great prospects out here. Tune your senses up, meaning that coming out of this recent devastation and destructions that have occurred here, that may possibly could have occurred in your relationships that caused a sudden stop to something, and now it's kind of like a spirit advice is asking you to please abandon this grief and loss and everything and try to move to some sort of higher state of being consciously. So let's clarify these just to get a better understanding. So we have the Nine of Earth, or Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it's kind of like you're at a loss of some sort. There's some sort of loss that occurred, and you're still, it might even be hindering your inspiration. Let me just continue. You have the Justice card here, so you, yet again, a Justice card in this particular sense is like, yes, go to your higher mind, evolve, ascend, using these different modalities here to help you ascend into this very spirit-like mindset, because something that I guess cannot be repaired is here, and you're just feeling very angry about it because you keep looking into the past and seeing like what happened. Or some Virgos could be clinging to something, but they're just still angry about it. Yeah, and then, let me see, just put them out. Wow, and then you end your reading. That's so beautiful. That's your card. Wow, and it's very, very powerful, Virgo. This reading is beautiful because it has such a great ending to it. You go into basically hermit mode with all of your wisdom on what was lost here. You know, why is this even occurring? And you basically, your inspiration is as maybe dissipated, or there's some kind of bad faith in something, or it could have been a loss of a friendship or a loss of a home that now you're just, I guess, disappearing in within yourself and dissipating. So your inspiration could be dissipating because of something. And you know, Justice card here is basically saying that, wow, it's yet again, you have to go into some sort of awakening, Virgo, a change of position or a renewal of mindset. Because here, when we have the King of Wands and the Six of Water in your present moment, you know, the King of Wands is very powerful, but also very unyielding, very strict, very quarrelsome, just likes fighting, just to fight. And it's like this clinginess to why, like just being so unyielding. And throughout time, you must realize and understand that you might have to let that side go because it's really causing some issues in a love sector. It's really causing big time issues in a relationship. Um, the Two of Cups in a reverse, that also is there to clarify the Lover's card. It's like there's a lot of misunderstandings. There's broken plans or broken engagements or parting of ways. Something that's just too violent. It's just very destructive, and it's causing this like like you're just so sad about it, Virgo. It has broke your heart. You keep reflecting on this, the pain, the loss, the grief, the anguish, the heartache, the anger. How dare them? And your spirit advice is saying it's time to come into the higher mind. It is time. Give me 1 second. When you have the Judgment here in the reverse, it usually means that someone isn't making making good decisions, or failure to find happiness, or a separation or disillusionment. But here, as your spirit advice, is basically saying that you might have to separate yourself from something or abandon someone or something to reach a higher mindset. It's very, very important because there is a lot of different losses here, and it all stems from you clinging onto your own thoughts on things and being very, I guess, like quick to argue, I guess I see, or this is a general reading, so it could always go vice versa. Someone's quick to argue with you, and it's just causing so much discord in a relationship. We have the Justice here. It's kind of like you have to find your balance again. Very, very, very important to create a well-balanced mind, and kind of stepping out of this clinginess to disputes and anger and just intolerance so quickly, stepping into something that's balanced and finding your way back to yourself again. Very, very important, because what will change is this beautiful magician energy, in which case you'll be able to find your ideas again, maybe finding your inspiration again, because this is very, very mastery type of energy. You know your skills, you're very powerful, maybe even occult wisdom. But it's like you're taking your power back. What can happen is that you can take your power back. You can also, for some Virgos, it's like the illusion of thinking you can take your power back, but you're holding yourself hostage by clinging on to something that's no longer serving you. And what is here is that you have the Knight of Pentacles. You could be talking to an Earth sign energy, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. But with the Knight of Pentacles here, there's some sort of inertia that occurred in your finances. This can also, for some Virgos, this can also mean there's some sort of like, wow, like it's definitely stagnation, idleness. These cards mean the same exact, I laughed because these cards mean the same exact thing. Wow. Inertia, stagnation. And at the end of it all, it's kind of like you have to take on your own energy. Virgo, you really do know what's happening here, but it's just, oh my God, it's just so crazy. And you know how powerful you are. I think that someone who you believe is very powerful in your life, who even serves as that emperor energy, someone who starts projects and creates projects and they're well off and all of that kind of energy, they're devastating. They're so much destruction, and it's leaving you at a loss. So the end of your reading, I'm going over time, is the Hermit card. And that Hermit card is such a beautiful way to kind of end this, because it's the energy where you just kind of go on your own. You have wisdom beyond meaning. Someone who's really going into that path of material or spiritual goals, and there's some sort of attainment that you can receive after this significant loss. But it looks as if the loss has to occur for you to rebuild yourself. And Spirit advice is just saying, look, go to your higher mind. There's a lot going on, a lot of like false happiness. Go to your higher mind and really figure it out in terms of that. Just kind of seclusion yourself, taking your own wisdom, listening to your emotional body, your spirit body, and really just honing in on that, okay? This is a general reading, Virgo, so if you're looking for a personal reading, you can just leave a comment below and I will send you a link to that. But I hope you like this reading. Give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.